Okay, boys and girls, welcome to another video by thebotempire.com. Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about databases. There's been some changes to the way things are done. I get questions about how to delete items from a database and how to put them into a database and pass the information. I get this question so much on the Discord and email. I wanted to cover a couple of the changes. People are having problems deleting items from the database, especially. So I just wanted to cover a couple of the changes that have been made. For example, pass line is now being depreciated, and you now use a different option to read information from a database. So I just wanted to cover that quickly. Just a quick notice, if you haven't already done so, then check out the new course, the Browser Automation Studio course, Become a Bot Master. The link is in the description. Also, the old course is available for free. Check out the description. And of course, if you appreciate this tutorial and you want to see more, then click that mother trucking bell icon to get notified of when I release new content. Right, guys, with that being said, let's crack on with the video. So what I have done is I've gone and created a database. What we're going to do actually, just to show you, this video is more for people that have a brief understanding of BAS and just want to see the changes. But if you're a newbie, hang in there, you're going to learn something anyway. So I'm going to erase the database and pretend it's brand new, just for people that haven't made a database before. So what we do is we come up to projects, show database, edit database schema. Nope, I want to erase this. Yes. Okay. So if we haven't made a database before, then if we come to save, right, let's start over. Show database. That's what I needed to do. That's better. You have to restart. Okay, let's try again. So projects, show database, and then if you haven't created a database already, it'll be an option to create database, add table. Then what do we want to call this database? I'm going to call it accounts for this example. Okay, and you put accounts here. And then what we want to do is add a column. So this is going to be, we're going to pretend this is a database of usernames and passwords. So the first column is going to be usernames, username in this case. Then add a column, and let's call this password. Okay, like so. There we go. And we can put save and save again. And then we have to always restart for the database features to kick in. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go to record and just show you some of the best ways to do things. Okay, what I'm going to do first, actually, the most simple way to show this is come off of here. It's too early. Okay, show database and then database manager. And I have already from the previous video, I've got some information in here already. So we've got two accounts, Dino1, Eric1. They're the usernames and the passwords. Brilliant passwords here. So we've got two items in the database. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the record. Now, the first thing that I want to show you is, why did I just do that? Okay, the first thing that I want to show you is that before we used to come to tools and pass line to read information from the database. However, things have changed. That does still work, but as it's depreciated, it won't be long before it's not going to get updated anymore. So the way that we do things now is strings, which has got some excellent methods in here, functions I should say. And what we want to do is pass CSV string. Okay, and then what string do we want to pass? Well, we want to pass, that I haven't done, oh my goodness. Okay, let's come here and create the resource. Let's create a resource called account. I should have done this to start with, account database. Okay, so I'm just making a resource so that we can use that within the script, and it's going to be a database. and then just hit next and next, finish. And if you have more than one, this is covered in the course, even the old course. If I come to the resource and put edit, you can actually change, if you have more than one database, which one it's linked to. However, we only have one called accounts, so that's absolutely fine. I should have done that to start with. Then let's hit record, and then here we're going to put all. Okay, right, back to it. Now that we have the resource, we can start with the fun. Okay, so string, and then we want pass CSV string. Okay, what do we want to pass? What do we want to look at? What do we want to put into variables? Well, we're going to come to our resources, which is always load from file user input database, and the only resource that we have is account database. Now, as I've covered in the course, if you don't want to keep using the same line in the database over and over, especially if you are using multiple threads, then you uncheck this box so that every time that the bot runs over the script, it uses the next line in the database. So it uses line 1, then it's going to use line 2. If you don't uncheck this, then it's going to just use the same line over and over in every thread. So account database, no reuse, and then this is where we put our different lines into variables. Okay, so I'm going to put so we've got the first line from the database. So let me just show you here. So database manager, so we're going to put in the first variable the username, and we're going to call it username. It makes sense, so that will be Dino1. And the second variable we're going to call it's going to be called password, and it's going to hold this, which is the password. Again, covered in the course. So it's turned out really good because that is what it puts in the standard. So the first variable, and I'll show you the variables in a minute. It's going to be called username, the second one password, and this is where you want to add a last one, even though it's not in the database, called ID, or you can call it whatever you want, and that is the database record ID for that particular record. Okay, and this is going to be crucial for when we want to delete or update a record. It's the best way to do things, and it's the most efficient and surefire way to make sure that you do delete or change a particular record. Okay, so we're going to hit OK. Now, if we press the what I call the bug icon, but it's just a way to see your resources and variables here, you can see everything that's included. So under the variable username is Dino1, which is from the first line of our database, and the password is this, and the ID, this is the record ID. Okay, so that particular first line, that's your ID associated with that record. Okay, so that's all well and good. Now let's just say that we want to delete that particular record once we're done with it. So what we do is, this is the best way to do things to make sure it gets deleted, because I know people have been deleting from resource and all that kind of thing, and it doesn't always work, or it's not the best way. So what we want to do is come to database, and then we go to delete one record. Okay, then we can use the record ID to delete this particular one. So we've already passed the information, we already know which ID we want to get rid of. So all we need to do in this box is put variable and ID. So it's going to get rid of this particular one. So this is really useful if you want to delete the current line that you're working with, and this is the best way, especially when you're working with multiple threads. So if you've got 5 browsers running, each one of them have grabbed a different account, they've logged in, they've done what they need to do, and long as it's successful, you can get rid of that particular account that you've been working with. So hit OK, and let's delete. Let's go and look at our handiwork. Oops. Project, show database. And because I ran it twice, it's got rid of both of them. Okay, but as you can see, it works. It gets rid of the accounts from the database. Okay, so now people have been asking how to insert into a database. So what we would do for that is, let's just say we could either, let me show you in two ways. It's the same thing, but just to cover the point, you can go insert record, and then what database do you want to put in the new information. We've only got one called accounts, and you could hand put this in. I'm going to do this just to show you, and then we could I'm going to show you a more expanded method. So username, let's put Dino Big Brain. Okay, and the password is good to me. Okay, and then we're going to do that, run that, and let's show database manager, and as you can see, it's put into our database just fine. So let's just say let's create a new resource, and this is going to call make or create username. Okay, and then this could be a random string, and then we could have a default. This is going to make a random username, so girl's first name, any digit, any letter. This is just for demonstration, so we can test and see what it would make. Okay, and then do next, finish, and then password. Let's make a password creator, next, and then random string, next, and then again, this is just girl's first name, upper vowel, digit. That'll do. Okay, so this is what the results will be like. Next, finish. So let's just pretend that we are creating accounts on a social media site or any website. Okay, so this is just a better way to show you, I guess. So what we could do, so the bot has loaded, it's already used that resource to create a random password, a random username with the information that we gave it. Okay, so then what we could do, we could insert, so it's got them, we've used them to sign up. Then what we could do is change this. Instead of hard coding it, we could use the resource feature and put in the created username that the bot made up, the software made up, and then also the password. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so if we just hop over to move execution point to here, insert record. So what the bot did, it loaded using the information we gave it, it made a random username and password. So this is great if you're signing up for accounts. And then if we go to show database and database manager, there you go, it's inserted into the database. And that is the best method to delete and add stuff into the database. To delete, use the ID, pass the line using the strings toolbox, and in there pass CSV line. Okay, pass the text, put them into variables, and always at the end include a variable ID or whatever you want to call it, and always delete using that ID. Okay guys, I hope this video has been helpful. Check out all the links in the description. If this information's been useful to you, then hit that mother trucking bell icon to get notified of new videos. This has all been done with Browser Automation Studio, so if you're new, check out the link in the description. It's absolutely free to use. Okay guys, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.